Welcome back. And I am pleased to welcome Katie Ward. And Katie is representing something that I hadn't heard about, and maybe you haven't either. It's called Shine the Light. And this is to help nonprofit organizations in particular. Of course, what they have would benefit any business, but to market themselves and present themselves to other people and to the community in a real positive way.
Yes.
And you are the account coordinator?
Yes, I am for DNA Creative Communications, and we present Shine the Light every year in partnership with United Way of Greenville County, Hollingsworth Funds, and the Community Foundation.
Okay, and you do this 4 times a year?
Yes, we do. This year is May 21st is the first session, and then the second is July 16th, the third is September 9th, and then the fourth session is November 19th.
Okay, so you have different people come at, because each time is different though. You don't cover the same material every time, do you?
No, we don't. This year the focus is on leadership in general, but then each session is a different topic. So the first one is organizational culture, and that's all about building the inside of your nonprofit and making sure everyone's on the same page. And then our second session is on board leadership and making sure that your board members represent your mission and that they're passionate. And then the third session is on collaboration and making sure that your nonprofit reaches out to other partners in the community and really gets collaborative and branches out within the upstate. And then our fourth session is on sustainability, which is fundraising and very, very important to all nonprofits.
Well, you sound like a very busy lady.
Yes, it is.
So when you say nonprofit, you know, this can be confusing to people.
Right.
What is a nonprofit?
Well, there are very many different sectors, and we invite all sectors to our Shine the Light events, and we've had over 350 organizations in the past, and they all benefit the community. They are not for profit. They don't fund themselves with the money, but they put it out to good cause in the community.
Well, now, like, what would be Miracle Hill, for instance? That comes in. That's a nonprofit.
Yes.
Some of the arts communities and education.
Yes.
You reach out to all of that.
We do. All the industries such as senior citizens, animals, education, art.
Or you work with the Humane Society. And
yes, we have. They've attended many of our sessions.
And so are these for a day or a week, or how long does it take? You cover a lot of material.
We do. They're at the Croc Center in downtown Greenville, the Salvation Army Croc Center, which is a great location, and they are only from 8 a.m. to noon, so it's only a half a day for each session. So we really give nonprofits a limited time because we know that time is a valuable resource for them.
And many times these are volunteers.
Yes, many times.
A
lot of board members.
When you have a nonprofit you're working with, most of the people, I would say most of them, would be non-salaried. They'd be people who say, I care about this. I have something to bring to the table. I want to help.
Exactly.
And they're not doing it to benefit themselves.
No, they're not. They are passionate about the cause and want to give back to the community.
So this is a terrific folder here, and I've never didn't even know you existed. So this is a leadership academy.
Yes. If you attend all 4 sessions this year, then you are a part of our inaugural Leadership Academy. This is the first year that we have done this, and we're giving people an opportunity to register for all 4 sessions and come to all 4 instead of just one at a time. So
you're talking 4 half days?
Yes.
So you cram an awful lot of stuff into a half a day.
We do.
My goodness.
We're very lucky to have national speakers coming in this year from Nashville and Washington, D.C. to help us with this, and these are experts on.
All right. Now, when you say, who are these? If they're not famous, you don't have to name them. But I mean, what are they? From what area of expertise do they come?
Most of them are nonprofit consultants, and a few of them are executive directors of nonprofit organizations themselves. So they have many years of experience with nonprofits and with the leadership topic in general.
So you have people coming from
From DC and Nashville.
Okay, okay. And you have to create your own, if you're a nonprofit, and you're not hiring people to fill certain jobs,
Right.
then you have to create an environment
Exactly.
where people want to come and be a part of this, right?
Correct, and that's the topic of our first session, the culture for your nonprofit, and making sure that everyone's on the same page with the mission and the vision and goals of the nonprofit. And it's hard to dedicate a lot of time if you're not passionate about something. So,
Well, people wouldn't come and volunteer if they didn't care, would they?
no, I don't believe so. I mean, you have a few people who need to get service hours and kids in school who volunteer for nonprofits, and it's often fun for them. But people who are dedicated and who come to our sessions are usually board members, executive directors who are putting their life for these nonprofits.
So this is an ongoing thing.
Yes, this is our 5th year.
And you have, what are some of the people that, I mean, is this just in the Greenville area, or is this a national organization?
Well, we have all of our
you've got
events.
people here from the Riley Institute.
Yes.
And even public affairs organizations, United Way, people like this. This is be a wonderful thing for anybody to attend, I would think.
Yeah, it definitely would.
I mean, is it limited only to people who have nonprofit organizations and then you shut the door? Or what about somebody who's in a business where, yes, they're trying to make a living,
right?
And they're creating jobs for other people?
Yeah, I mean, we
But
welcome
you
businesses
don't shut the
too.
door on those people if they want to come, do you?
No, we certainly wouldn't. And it's a really great opportunity for networking as well. We had a reception on Monday at the Kilgore Lewis House downtown, and we had funders and nonprofits there together just to network and, build that partnership.
And I see you have a page here, 5 strategies to becoming the employer you want to be.
Yes.
So
and that,
if you're running a nonprofit, if you're in business and you employ someone for a salary, that fits right in.
Exactly, and that's an article from our first speaker from DC. So we have that in there. So she'll be speaking a little bit about that with the organizational culture and making sure that your staff and your volunteers and your nonprofit are adequately appropriate for the organization.
What I've heard from people who are committed in many ways to the arts or to education or whatever they're involved in, they have sometimes a very difficult, everybody's busy, and to get people to volunteer, to get people to give their time, there must be an art to enticing these people to come in.
Yes, many incentives and just offering different ways for people to help out, and really the best part is just showing them the benefit, showing them if you volunteer, these are our outcomes, and this is what has happened in our nonprofit in the past, and this is how you can help us reach that in the future. And that's our 4th session, which will be on sustainability and fundraising. We'll talk a lot about that.
Now many nonprofits all have to have some sort of outreach as in a fundraiser.
Right.
Some once a year, a big do. Others have many fundraisers all year long. And many of these are women.
Yes.
Women's organizations, and they work hard.
They do. They do, and that's really a key that a lot of people have questions of what should we do one large event or should we do a lot of small, and I think it really depends on the audience and who you want to attend these fundraising events and whether they would have time to come out to a lot of different events or whether you want to put all your resources into doing a large event.
Who are some of the people that you've helped and guided in this area, for instance? Can you
Well,
name
we
some?
have over 1,000 participants, so there is a long list. Some of the repeat attendees for Shine the Light each year are Meals on Wheels in Greenville.
Okay.
They come every year. The Humane Society, as we mentioned before, come very often. Miracle Hill, that you had mentioned, has attended before. The Red Cross of Greenville, American Red Cross, has come many times. So there really is a huge range. Metropolitan Arts Council makes an appearance every year. So we really cover every industry.
And anyone is welcome.
Yes.
Now, you've got one coming up later in May, but then there are 3 others this year.
Yes.
And we have a website, www.nonprofitforum.org. And if, maybe you're kind of in a struggling situation with a group of people you work with and you want to make it flourish a little bit. This kind of thing, you give them some ideas?
Yes. Yes, and that's actually the name of the organization that our speaker is from, is Flourish Talent Management Solutions. So it's great they use that word because that's the company that our speaker has started, and she's the CEO of this, and she will really talk about how you can get your nonprofit organization to flourish by building the culture.
And you have men and women come to these things. But,
yes.
But I'll bet you have quite a few women. Because you know what? A lot of the, not all of it, but a lot of the volunteerism that I know about is women. They're the ones who step up and say, well, I can do this. I can spend 2 hours a week or 6 hours or whatever to help something I believe in.
Exactly. Yep, and it's really targeted towards executive directors and board leaders this year because it's on leadership, so it's people who are on top of the organization and kind of managing the organization as a whole.
They have to know how to bring in all these other people.
Exactly. They need to know how to get the volunteers, the staff, and another big part of that is the sponsorships for different events. You don't have to think about that very often, but getting people to help fund your fundraising efforts.
And most of the time, it takes 1 or 2 companies to back the event.
Yes.
Doesn't it?
Yes.
And then you get everybody else to come on board.
Yeah, and another great thing are in-kind sponsorships where you will kind of exchange something with, you'll put their logo on all of your materials, you'll recognize them at your events if they donate something for your event, such as tables and chairs, food and beverage, that type of thing.
And the other thing is, some of these people, they're always looking for something new. If you do the same old thing every year, people say, well, I went to that last year, I'm not going to go.
Exactly.
So they have to constantly find new ways to bring people to the table, don't they?
Yes, they need to be appealing to everyone, and no one wants to go to the same event every year, so needing to make it different.
Well, if you are a nonprofit organization or you're a volunteer, make a note of that website. And I thank you so much, Katie, for coming and sharing and helping a lot of other people. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
If you're a volunteer, get out there and work for what you believe in. We'll see you next time.